Hey everybody, it's Saturday night, and what I wanted to talk to you about is a lot of y'all probably don't know a lot about me. So, you get the chance to see me in this video when I'm at home, when I'm not really fixed up, when I'm just myself. So, what I wanted to tell you is almost always there are spirits around me, and for some people, that would probably be a little bit scary. For me, it's really not. Um, I've had spirits around me my entire life. This is something that is just normal to me. I hear them very often in conversations, speaking around me, speaking to me. A lot of times they're talking through the telephone to me. A lot of times they're speaking in my house. Whenever I'm making videos, they always interrupt my videos. Um, it's just a normal thing in my life. I've always seen them. I've heard them. I've felt them. I've known that they are there since childhood. So, when I was making the video earlier, using the laser for chin hairs, I heard a spirit that was speaking to me, and he says something like, um, either he's saying, well, on one point, I think that he's saying, you're insane. And another time, he's saying something like, just, well, you'll have to hear it and you can try to interpret it. Anyway, it doesn't sound like he's being very nice. So, what I want to tell you is many times, okay, let's start over. Hi, my name is Toya Brasky. If you don't know me, I want you to know that I do spirit work. I do EVPs, which is the voices of disembodied spirits. Now, earlier tonight, when I was doing a little video about the laser machine for my chin hairs, I heard a spirit that was in my living room, and apparently it was making kind of snide remarks to me. I think on one part of the video it said something like, you're insane, or a part of it said, I'm standing right in front of you. And you have to listen because they're very quick in the way that they speak, but they're there. So, many times in my life, they are always interfering. They are on my telephone calls. A lot of times, if you speak with me on the telephone, in me and you speaking on the telephone, you're going to hear some kind of interruption. Like you will hear, like, there's maybe like a bad telephone line where there's other people speaking, but actually it's spirits trying to speak over the line to me while we're speaking. And the other thing is many times when I'm making my videos or when I'm doing other EVPs for families or for spirits or for police departments, something like that, other spirits try to bombard and video bomb those EVPs. So a lot of times there's many voices coming through. Now, what I want you to understand is it doesn't really frighten me that there are spirits in my house, because I've known my entire life that they are always around me. Always, every minute from childhood until adulthood, they have been here. Now, when you see these little flickers in my video, that's usually the time that they are intercepting, and they will say a quick comment, and it always causes like a glitch, and you'll hear a little whisper. So, what I want you to understand is many times when we lease a house, rent a house, when we buy a house, a lot of times there are either spirits on that land or there are spirits that are in that house, because the spirit world is very much like our world. So try to imagine that you're a spirit and you can't just go anywhere, because when you go to your neighbor's house or you go to an unknown house, there are still spirits living there from generations. And so it's like you're in the wrong place, you're not welcome. So often a spirit will go back to the place that they were most comfortable with. They will either go back to the house that they used to live in, the house that they built, the house that they bought, the house that they used to rent. They may go to a job, they may go to a family member's house. But then here you come, you move in, and you have different beliefs, or you have children that are very loud, or you have dogs that bark, and they're not used to that because that wasn't their lifestyle. So when people talk about hauntings or things that don't feel right in the house, it's usually that spirit that seems to be a little bit upset at you, because it's really like they're not haunting you, you're haunting them because you've disturbed their peace. And so I know very often, sometimes I come in my living room, which is where I know a lot of spirits stay. They know that me and the dogs are usually in the bedroom or kitchen. But in the living room, that's the only piece that they have. So a lot of times there are spirits in my living room. I'm also aware that when I do spirit EVPs, that I open a portal. And many times when you call spirits from the spirit world, they have nowhere to go. And so many of them do tell me, they'll say in the EVPs, I'm staying with you. And so there's probably so many spirits in my house at one time. And a lot of times I hear groups of spirits speaking. And so some of them will even tell me, they'll say, we're here and someone's knocking at your door, don't let them in. Or they'll say, hey, this spirit is waiting in line to speak with you. So it works a lot like that. I hope that I can help you to understand what I do. This has never been something for me like a thrill factor, ghost hunting to antagonize spirits. That's not my thing. Really, I wanted to do research to prove that there is life after death. I wanted you to understand that they are real. They are always around us. There are earthbound spirits. I don't believe that all of them go to the light. I don't believe that all of them go to heaven. I believe that it is free will, that they can stay on earth if they want to stay on earth. I believe wholeheartedly, and I know it is not fantasy. There are demons. There are angels. I've had aliens speak to me. I've had disembodied spirits of humans and also inhuman things that have spoke with me. Now you would think that that would frighten me to death. There's many times in my EVPs that something will say, this is Lucifer, or I'm a demon, and you would think that that would send me running. But very often I just sort of shrug it off and say, okay, well, demon, what is it that you want me to know? What is it that you're here for? You know, and a lot of times when these spirits deceive me in my EVPs, I will thank them because they've taught me something. They've taught me that sometimes when you're doing this spirit work, you have to use discernment, because there certainly are spirits that will try to trick you, that will try to deceive you, that will lie to you, that will try to impersonate others. So you have to be very careful when you do this work. You don't always get these loving EVPs where people are just saying, thank you so much for what you do. A lot of the times they've said things like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to stand over you in the middle of the night. I'm behind you. We're going to kill your family. Really derogatory things. They've said things like, we're going to rape you. Um, we're going to murder you in the night. That's part of this work, that you will get a lot of low vibration spirits that come through. Now, there are other times that there are very loving spirits that come through and they say, thank you so much for helping me. They will say things like, I see what you do. And believe me, they do see what you do. They see every detail of what you do. Many times throughout my day, they will confirm things that I've done that there isn't a soul around that could tell me the things that I just did. And they will say in detail, hey, I saw you do this, or I'm watching you right now do this. And I know without a doubt that they have to be standing in the room with me, because no one would know those things. So I want to give you the comfort of knowing that even if you've lost a person in your life, no matter what the situation, whether they committed suicide, whether they were murdered, whether they died from some kind of tragic illness, most of them say that within a blink of an eye, just a second, that yes, it was tragic in the way that they died, but as soon as they died, they were completely fine. They were completely pain-free. And some of them have said that they are condemned, meaning that when they got to the other side, they weren't allowed to go to heaven, but they weren't exactly in hell. But on the other side, they were put into a program to learn to do better. And so a lot of them are in these stages in their death and in their transition, to learn how to work through whatever problem they had in this past life. Another interesting thing that they tell me is a lot of times when I call them by their name, the name they were in their past incarnation, say that I'm contacting a murder victim, some of them will say to me, well, yes, I was that person while I was here, but I'm a soul and I will be here again. So it's very interesting and it's very deep, and it takes a person who can discern exactly what's going on, because the average person who would try to do this work would probably be scared to do this. I've seen things, and there are videos and things that have been shown to me that I probably would not share with you. I think I'm allowed to know those things because I've done this work for so long and I've known a lot about the spirit world. I'm not saying that to scare you, I'm just saying that you're not ready for that. And so there's a lot of people who think, oh, I want to do what you do. I want to do this kind of spirit work. I want to call on spirits. Well, before you do that, make sure that you're the type of person that when you do get those low vibration spirits speaking to you, that you're going to be able to handle it, because they will come. They will always be around. They will start interfering with your electronics. They'll mess with your computer. They'll mess with your phone. They'll probably start sending you all kinds of derogatory messages. That is probably, I would say, 50% of the time. The other times you will get really rewarding work out of this. But I'm glad that I had the time to make this video to let you know a little bit about what I do. And remember that this is the first year that I'm doing EVP research. And so I'm still learning. So there's going to be times that I make mistake with audio. There's going to be times that I make mistakes or that I don't really understand the entire content of the messages that I'm getting. But I'm trying. And of course, I always tell people when I do send them video or I do send them an EVP that it's not me giving the message, it's a spirit. And I can't tell you what that spirit is. I can't tell you if it's truly your loved one, or I can't tell you if it's a demon speaking through. So that's the kind of things that I'm researching this year in 2023. And hopefully you'll grow with me and you'll learn something from my work. And I hope that if I have done EVPs for your family, that it helped you at some point. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'm going to have to go to bed soon because I'm getting tired. So this was a long video. Anyway, bye y'all.